I feel like somehow I always end up plugged into the wall. This is the hardest decision I've ever had to make, but maybe showing my journey will help others remember who they are. We are not defined by our circumstances. I know you have a bucket list, and so do I. So scared or not, let's take back control of our own destiny because we are worth it. Hey guys, my name is Kerri, if we haven't met yet, and tomorrow I am 6 weeks post left below the knee amputation. I was supposed to get my x-rays and hopefully get the okay from my surgeon to get the prescription for my prosthetic, except yesterday I had another surgery that was not planned. It was a revision of the scar tissue, and I will post why, the video, right up here. It's kind of disgusting. I had a big open wound that I will explain a little bit later that had to be revised because it would not hold suction in a socket later on. So unfortunately, instead of getting my prosthetic and my x-rays done this Friday, now I'm going to be set back about 3 to 4 more weeks. I'm looking a little crazy and a little disoriented today because of all the anesthesia and traveling. Yesterday I went about 21 hours without water, so I'm kind of dehydrated. My surgery ran several hours late, so that did not help anything. We had to drive 2 hours up there, wait all day, have surgery, drive 2 hours back. So here I am fresh today and a little out of it. So bear with me. When I went to go have my stitches removed, I had necrosis of the skin, which is basically dead skin cells. He removed all of the necrosis and he took out the stitches. It was supposed to stay in that wound taco shape, but instead it flattened out and then it filled in all of those gaps with new tissue. If you would like to see the actual wound itself, I have posted it in the description, but I can't post it here because of its graphic nature. It does have a age restriction on it, and I don't want to get that restriction on this video, so I'm going to draw it. My leg is what I'm drawing right now, and then with the knee at the bottom. So what happened when my scar healed, part of it healed perfectly, like any normal scar would, which is on the top of my leg. But when the stitches were removed, it opened up and made a huge cavity on the top. This is the open end of my leg, and it filled in with this yellow, healthy tissue, and eventually it would have healed completely to skin, but it would still leave this deep depression and cavity. The wound also had a red outline around it on the outside, which again was still healthy, just part of the healing process. I had a follow-up appointment with him 10 days after the stitches were removed, and he said just go home and heal until then, and we'll check it out and see if anything further needs to be done then. After showing some of my amputee friends and my friends and family, they all said, you need to send pictures to him. And when I did, he said, yeah, that's really, it looks good, it's going to heal, but it's not going to heal in a way that would be ideal for a prosthetic, and I think you're going to end up with surgery anyway, so let's go ahead and get that done. So I was able to shave off a week, and I went ahead and had it done yesterday on Tuesday, August 10th. In the holding area of surgery, while the surgery was pushed behind because of the case before me, Dr. Attinger came in and talked to me a little bit about what was going to happen. He said, I can remove all of that tissue, and if for some reason there are signs of infection, then I'm going to keep you several days until Friday with it open and a wound vac on. Basically, his plan was to cut just outside of all of the tissue that was not forming a scar properly and to put those pieces together as long as there was no infection. That way, he could close it up completely and make it nice and pretty like the scar on the top of my leg. He said if you don't show signs of infection, which I don't see any on you, I don't see any pus or drainage, I don't see any infection in any of the cultures, there is no smell, things like that, then you should be able to go home stitched up today. He also mentioned that if this doesn't work for whatever reason, that I might end up with a shorter limb. I might end up with a new amputation, cutting the bones off again and starting completely from scratch, which is honestly not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is a bone infection, but it's pretty bad. I don't want to start all over again. We only have 6 weeks left of my husband's time off of work, and I can't afford any more setbacks at this point. After surgery, Dr. Ettinger came to see me in post-op, and he said with a smile on his face that he was very pleased. He did not see any signs of infection, that he was very happy with the way that the muscle and the bone looked, and that he was able to completely close my leg, but that I would be going home with antibiotics and a wound vac. Whenever you have stitches holding your leg together, that's great, but then whenever the stitches are removed, that skin is trying to come apart because it's not used to being there. But what the wound vac does is it sucks those pieces together so that your skin doesn't have to fight so hard, and it promotes quicker healing. I was a little surprised by the wound vac because he was able to close my leg, and I think what is going on is the wound vac is actually inside the stitches, which means whenever my wound heals, part of that sponge or that gauze, also some of those fibers of my leg are going to attach to it, almost like a Band-Aid attaches to your wound. So that's not going to feel very good whenever he pulls it out. Today, after surgery, I feel okay. I am very groggy. I did have to take a pain pill. I thought I was going to get through it without it. I still have the oxy, whatever they are, from my initial amputation. But the wound vac, I can feel it pulling on the stitches or staples or skin or whatever, and then it'll release, and then it'll pull again, and so that is quite painful. The stitches or staples, whatever they are inside the bandage, I can't see it. It's all wrapped up, and I'll show you in just a minute. Obviously those hurt because it's, you know, a whole bunch of tiny holes and wounds in your skin, so of course that stings in and of itself, but then something constantly moving it is not very comfortable. So I'm hoping today's the only day that I have to take one of those because I hate my body on medication, but sometimes, like I've said before, it's very necessary, so take them if you need them. Okay, I'm going to show you the wound vac now. Basically what it is it's a little device. It's right here, and it makes a clicking sound. I can unplug it to be able to be transported to the bathroom or to go out to dinner or something like that if we wanted to. I'm going to plug it back in. And right here it has different settings. These are the amount of days it's set to. It's set to go off no matter what at 6 days. This right here is the battery life. This, I didn't understand these till I looked it up. This is if it has a leak somewhere. So if I was to take this out, it'll throw a fit and it'll tell me right here, there's a leak somewhere. It'll pop up in just a minute. And this is a blockage. So see, it's yelling at me right here, and it'll start beeping at me that there is a leak in the hose because it's not plugged in. So then whenever I plug that back in, it'll make it happy again. All fixed. It's like a baby with a binky. Okay, so basically that's the device, and it does have a little harness thing that I can put around my neck or something like that. I usually will attach it to the knee scooter. But it has a hose that is going inside my leg somewhere. I'm not going to open it up. And the hose goes to the unit, and then it's plugged in, and of course the plug goes to the wall. So that's the anatomy of a wound vac. I want to say a special shout out and thank you to the people I don't even know leaving comments and saying wonderful, nice things, and how they are just praying for me and really wishing me the best. And you guys are wonderful. You give me faith in humanity. Again, thank you so much. They really, really impact me. The same as negative words impact people, positive words impact people, and I really appreciate your support. You're so kind, and I'm lucky to have you. Thank you so much. My next appointment is next Monday for the wound vac to be removed, and I will try to video that if I can. And so I hope you guys found value in this video, and if you have any questions about the surgery or the wound vac, please let me know in the comments. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, feel free to share it with somebody that you think might benefit from it and give it a thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys on the next video.